If you downloaded this, the game has already begun Chapter 1. The link in the dark Sam slouched at his desk, the glow of his laptop casting shadows across his cluttered room. Empty soda cans, a half-built model spaceship, and a tangle of charger cords. It was past midnight, the kind of hour where boredom drove him to weird corners of the internet. He scrolled through a dimly lit forum, one he'd stumbled on by accident, threads about glitchy tech, urban legends, and cryptic downloads. Most were nonsense, but one post caught his eye. A single line, no title, just a link labeled, "Try this." "Probably a virus," he muttered, hovering the cursor. But the comments below were insistent. "It's not what you think. Play one round, you'll see. Don't stop halfway." Curiosity won. He clicked, and a file downloaded instantly. No name, just a string of random characters. Against his better judgment, he opened it. The screen flickered, his desktop icons vanishing, and a window popped up. A pixelated interface, retro like an old arcade game. No title, no menu, just a prompt in blocky white text. One round, YN. Sam smirked, tapping Y with a shrug. Sure, why not? The game loaded, a dark forest, 8-bit trees swaying in a silent breeze, and a character sprite standing in the center, a boy in a hoodie, eerily like him. "Find the key," the screen flashed. Simple enough. He moved the sprite with arrow keys, weaving through trees, until he found a glowing golden key pixelated in the undergrowth. "Good. Take it home," the next prompt read. The sprite trudged back to a tiny cabin, and the screen faded to black. "Round 1 complete," Sam leaned back, unimpressed. "That's it?" The window closed, his desktop reappearing. Lame. He dragged the file to the trash, except it wouldn't move. He tried again. The icon stayed stubbornly in place. "Weird," he muttered, restarting his laptop. When it booted up, the file was still there, untouched. He shrugged it off, crawling into bed as the clock hit 2 a.m. Sleep came fast, but his dreams were odd. Pixelated trees, a golden key glinting in the dark. He woke to sunlight streaming through his window, yawning as he shuffled to his desk. Then he froze. There, on his keyboard, sat a small, shiny object. A golden key, no bigger than his thumb, etched with faint, blocky lines like it belonged in a game. Sam blinked, picking it up. It was cold, solid, real. "No way," he whispered, glancing at his laptop. The file was still there, unopened, waiting. He tapped it, and the game launched instantly. Same forest, same sprite, same text. 1 round, YN. He hesitated. The key heavy in his hand, then hit Y. The screen flickered. "Find the lantern." Chapter 2. The game plays. Back Sam stared at the screen, the golden key still clutched in his sweaty palm. The game's forest sprawled before him, pixelated branches swaying as his hoodie-clad sprite stood waiting. "Find the lantern." The text glowed, steady and unblinking. "Okay," he muttered, shaking off the unease. "It's just a coincidence. Someone's pranking me." He guided the sprite deeper into the trees, the key's weight nagging at him. Too real for a joke. The forest looped, eerie and repetitive, until a faint glow flickered ahead. A lantern, swinging from a branch, its light pulsing in 8-bit flickers. Sam grabbed it with a tap, and the screen flashed. "Good. Take it home." The sprite trudged back to the cabin, lantern swinging, and the game faded out. Round 2 complete. The window closed, his desktop snapping back. He exhaled, tossing the key onto his desk. "Still lame," he said, forcing a laugh. But the key glinted there, mocking him. He grabbed his mouse, dragging the file to the trash again. Nothing. Right-click, delete, nothing. A cold prickle ran up his spine. "Fine," he growled, opening the file explorer to force it out. Before he could, his laptop hummed, the screen flickering, and the game launched on its own. 1 round? YN Sam slammed N, but the text pulsed. You've already started. You must finish. The words lingered, then faded, the game closing itself. He sat back, heart thudding. What the heck? He powered down his laptop, unplugging it for good measure, and stepped away, eyeing it like it might bite. The day dragged, school, homework, avoiding his room. But when he returned, that evening the air felt thick. His laptop was still off, cord dangling, yet something glowed on his desk beside the key. A small lantern, its glass etched with pixelated lines, a tiny flame dancing inside. Sam's breath caught. No, he whispered, grabbing it. It was warm, solid, impossible. He plugged in his laptop, hands shaking, and booted it up. The file sat there, unmovable. He clicked it. Forest, sprite, text. Find the map. The lantern sat beside him, its light flickering in sync with the screen. He moved the sprite, half dreading, half curious, as it stumbled through trees, to a rolled-up parchment. Good! Take it home. Round 3 done. The game closed, and Sam stared at his desk. The key? The lantern? Now what? He tried deleting the file again, dragging, clicking, even running a cleanup app. Each time, the same message flashed. You've already started. You must finish. His phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. Check your drawer. Heart pounding, he yanked open his desk drawer. There, coiled neatly, was a parchment map, its edges pixel-burned, glowing faintly in the dark. Chapter 3. The lines start to blur. Sam woke to sunlight, his room a mess of shadows and soda cans, but his eyes locked on the desk. The golden key, the lantern, the map, all there, glowing faintly like relics from a dream he couldn't shake. He hadn't slept much, the words, "You must finish," looping in his head alongside that text. Check your drawer. His laptop sat silent, unplugged, yet he felt it watching him, waiting. He grabbed his phone. No unknown number in the log, no trace of the message. I'm losing it, he muttered, shoving the objects into a shoebox and slamming it shut. School was a blur, math, lunch, friends joking about his tired eyes, but his mind stayed on that game. Back home, he hesitated, then plugged in his laptop. It booted up, and the file launched itself before he could touch the mouse. 1 round? YN. The text pulsed, inescapable. Sam swallowed, hitting Y. The forest loaded, his sprite standing, beneath swaying trees. Find the compass. He guided it through the pixelated maze, unease growing. Each tree looked sharper, the shadows deeper. A compass spun into view, dangling from a vine. Good, take it home. Round 4 done. The B screen went black, his desktop returning, but his room felt wrong. The air hummed, a low buzz he couldn't place. He glanced at the shoebox, still closed, but the lantern's light seeped through the cracks, pulsing with the game's rhythm. This isn't funny, he said aloud, yanking the box open. Beside the key, lantern, and map sat a small brass compass, its needle twitching wildly. Sam dropped it, scrambling back. No way! No way! He lunged for his laptop, hammering the delete key. The screen flickered, and that message flashed. You've already started. You must finish. His phone buzzed again. Another text. Look outside. He stumbled to the window, peering into the dusk. The backyard was empty, until a shadow shifted, tall and pixelated, vanishing behind a tree. Heart racing, he slammed the curtain shut and turned to his laptop. The game was running again, unprompted. Forest, sprite, text, find the book. He played hands trembling, guiding the sprite to a leather-bound tome buried in roots. Round 5 complete. The game closed, and silence fell, until a soft thud sounded behind him. On his bed lay a book, its cover etched with blocky runes, pages glowing faintly. Sam stared, the hum growing louder, vibrating through the walls. "What are you doing?" "To me?" he whispered, but the room didn't answer, just watched as the game tightened its grip. Chapter 4. The Rules. Titan Sam sat on his bed, staring at the book, its leather cover etched with pixelated runes, its pages pulsing with a faint eerie light. The key, lantern, compass, and map sat in the open shoebox, their glow syncing with the hum that now thrummed through his room. His laptop glowed too, unplugged yet alive, the game file sitting stubbornly on his desktop. He hadn't touched it since last night, but the book's arrival, dropped from nowhere, meant it wasn't waiting for permission anymore. He grabbed his phone, hands shaky, and texted his friend Mia. "Weird stuff happening. Can you come over?" She replied fast. "On my way." Sam exhaled, clutching the book. Its pages were blank, mostly. One line flickered in blocky text. "You're in too deep." He slammed it shut, the hum spiking as if offended. Mia arrived, banging on his door. "You look like a zombie," she said, stepping in, her dark ponytail swinging. Sam spilled everything, the forum link, the game, the objects. She frowned, peering at the shoebox. "This is freaky. Let's delete it." They booted his laptop, but the file wouldn't budge. Sam clicked it, desperate to show her, and the screen flared. "One round? And don't," Mia warned. But the game launched anyway. Forest, sprite, text. "Find the cloak." Sam hesitated, then played, guiding the sprite to a tattered cloak hanging in the trees. "Good. Take it home." Round 6 done. The yow screen went black and a rustle filled the room. On his chair hung a cloak, pixel-patterned, frayed, real. Mia gasped. "Sam, this isn't normal." He tried deleting again. Trash, commands, nothing worked. The message popped up. "You've already started. You must finish." His phone buzzed. "Open the closet." Mia grabbed his arm. "Don't." But Sam, pulse racing, yanked it open. Empty, until a shadow flickered inside, tall and blocky, gone in a blink. The hum grew, the lantern's light pulsing faster. Mia dragged him to the laptop. "Uninstall it, now!" They dug through settings, but the game wasn't listed. Just that file, immovable. It launched again. "Find the ring." Sam played. 2 rattled to stop, finding a silver band in the forest. Round 7 complete. A clink sounded. On his desk, a ring gleamed, pixel-etched and cold. Mia stared, pale. "Sam, it's changing things. We need help." But as she spoke, the hum swelled, and the cloak on the chair twitched, rising slightly before settling. Sam whispered, "It's not just a game anymore." Chapter 5. The game knows him. Sam barely slept, the hum a constant drone in his ears. The shoebox overflowed. Key, lantern, map, compass, book, cloak, ring. All glowing faintly, their pixelated edges sharp against his messy room. Mia had left late, promising to research the forum, but Sam felt alone. The laptop's dark screen, a silent threat. He avoided it all morning, stuffing the objects under his bed, but the hum followed him. Through breakfast, through pacing, through ignoring his phone's buzz. By noon, he couldn't take it. He pulled the laptop out, plugging it in. It booted instantly, the game launching before he could blink. One round? YN. The hum pulsed, insistent, and Sam hit Y, half defeated. The forest loaded, his sprite smaller now, hunched like it was tired. Find the mirror. He moved it through trees, the shadows thicker, the air on screen crackling with static. A cracked mirror hung from a branch, reflecting his sprite, and something taller behind it, pixelated and still. Sam froze. No way, he muttered, grabbing the mirror in-game. Good. Take it home. Round 8 done. The screen faded, and a thud echoed behind him. On his desk sat a small, cracked mirror, its frame blocky, its glass rippling like water. He peered in. His reflection stared back, but his eyes flickered, glitching to black for a split second. Panic rising, he tried deleting the file. Same result. You've already started. You must finish. His phone buzzed. Look under your bed. He yanked the blanket up, nothing but dust and the shoebox. The objects inside glowed brighter, the cloak spilling out, its fabric rustling on its own. The hum spiked, and the mirror on his desk flickered. His reflection smiled, though he didn't. Mia texted. Found the forum. Others played this, then vanished. Be careful. Sam's stomach dropped. He clicked the game again. It launched. Find the coin. The sprite trudged on, finding a gold coin buried in roots. Round 9 complete. A clink. On his floor, a coin rolled, pixel-edged, spinning too long before stopping. The room shifted. The hum vibrated the walls, the lantern flared, and the mirror's reflection moved, turning its head when Sam didn't. His phone buzzed. They're waiting. He grabbed the coin, hands trembling. Who? He whispered. The game answered, launching unprompted. Find the door. Chapter 6. The game takes. Over Sam gripped the coin, its pixelated edge biting into his palm as the game loaded again. Forest, sprite, text. Find the door. The hum was deafening now, rattling his shelves, making the soda cans clatter. His room felt smaller, the walls pressing in, the glow from the shoebox. Key, lantern, map, compass, book, cloak, ring, mirror, coin, casting jittery shadows. He guided the sprite through the trees, heart pounding, as it stumbled toward a wooden door framed in static, pulsing like a glitch. He grabbed it in-game. Good. Open it. The sprite pushed, and the screen flared white, fading to black. Round 10 complete. Sam held his breath, waiting. A creak sounded, not from the laptop, but from his closet. He spun. The door was ajar, a faint light seeping through. Blocky, pixelated, impossible. No, he whispered, backing away. The hum swelled, the objects in the shoebox trembling, the mirror's reflection now standing when he sat. His phone buzzed. Step inside. Sam threw it across the room. It hit the wall, screen cracking, but the game launched again. 1 round? YN. He slammed N, but the text pulsed. You must finish. The closet door creaked wider, the light sharpening into a forest. Silhouette. Trees, shadows, exactly like the game. The hum became a voice, low and glitchy. You're ours now. Sam grabbed the laptop, smashing the delete key. The screen flickered, the message repeating, You've already started. The objects spilled from the shoebox. The cloak floated, the lantern flared. The mirror showed him walking toward the closet, though he stood still. His phone, cracked and dark, buzzed again. They played too. Mia burst in, breathless. Sam, I found posts. People who played this disappeared. She froze, staring at the closet. The door swung fully open, revealing a pixelated void. Trees swaying, shadows shifting. Sam's voice shook. It's not stopping. The game launched. Find the player. The sprite moved, finding a figure, hoodie, just like him. Round 11 complete. A shadow stepped from the closet. Tall, blocky, its face a blank screen. The hum roared, and Sam felt the room tilt, the game claiming him piece by piece. Chapter 7. The player in the shadows. Sam stumbled back, his breath ragged as the shadow loomed from the closet, tall, pixelated, its blank face a void of static. Mia grabbed his arm, her nails digging in. "Sam, what is that?" she hissed, eyes wide. The hum roared through the room, shaking the walls, the objects, key, lantern, map, compass, book, cloak, ring, mirror, coin, spilling across the floor, glowing brighter. His laptop screen pulsed. 1 round, YN, despite no one touching it. "I don't know," Sam yelled, shoving Mia toward the door. "We've got to get out." But the shadow shifted, blocking the exit, not moving, just there, its edges, flickering like a bad render. The game launched again. Find the shadow. Sam's sprite trudged through the forest, mirroring the figure in his room, until it reached a dark, blocky shape. Good. Face it. Round 12 done. The shadow in the closet tilted its head, and the hum became words, glitchy, layered. "You called us." Sam's stomach dropped. "I didn't call anything," he shouted, but the mirror on the floor flared. His reflection stared back, eyes black, mouthing the same words. Mia yanked the laptop's cord, but it stayed on, screen glowing. "Sam, it's not stopping." He grabbed the book, flipping it open. Blank pages flickered, then text appeared. Round 1, you. Round 2, them. His phone buzzed from the floor, cracked screen flashing. "Look behind you." He spun. The shadow was closer, inches away, its blank face rippling. Mia screamed, throwing the lantern at it. It passed through, shattering. On the wall, flame still burning. The game reloaded. Find the voice. Sam didn't touch the keys, but the sprite moved, finding a glowing orb in the trees. Round 13 complete. The hum sharpened, and a voice echoed, not from the laptop, but the walls. "You're not alone." The shadow reached out, its pixelated hand brushing his shoulder. Cold, electric, real. Mia dragged him to the window. "We're jumping." But the glass shimmered, turning blocky, reflecting the forest. The shadow's hand tightened and the objects levitated, the cloak wrapping around itself, the compass spinning wildly. Sam whispered, "It knows me." The game wasn't playing him. It was pulling him in. Chapter 8. The room becomes the game. Sam's room warped as the shadow's grip tightened. Walls shimmered, edges pixelating like a corrupted screen. The hum was a storm now, rattling his skull, the objects, key, lantern shards, map, compass, book, cloak, ring, mirror, coin, swirling in a chaotic orbit around him. Mia pounded the window, but it held, its glass a glowing forest scene trapping them inside. "Sam, do something," she yelled, voice cracking. He lunged for the laptop, the screen pulsing. 1 round, YN. "No!" he shouted, slamming the lid shut, but it sprang open, the game loading. "Find the chain!" The sprite moved on its own, weaving through, trees to a rusty chain coiled in the dirt. "Good. Wear it." Round 14 done. A clank sounded. Around his ankle, a cold, pixelated chain snapped shut, heavy and real. Mia gasped, grabbing at it, but it wouldn't budge. "What is this thing?" The shadow loomed closer, its blank face flickering, and the hum rasped, "You downloaded us." Sam's phone buzzed, screen cracked but alive. "Check the mirror." He looked. The reflection showed him chained, the shadow behind him, but now with his face, smirking. I didn't mean to, he yelled, kicking the chain. The room tilted, shelves melting into static, the ceiling dripping blocky trees. The game launched again. Find the crown. The sprite stumbled to a jagged crown on a stump. Round 15 complete. A weight pressed his head. A crown, cold and sharp, materialized, digging into his scalp. Mia tore at the cloak, now floating, but it wrapped around her arms, pinning her. Sam, it's everywhere. The shadow's hand brushed his neck, and the hum roared. You're part of it now. The mirror showed them both. Sam crowned, chained, Mia tangled, the shadow multiplying behind. His phone buzzed. They finished. You won't. The closet pulsed, the forest void growing, swallowing the doorframe. Sam grabbed Mia, pulling her back, but the chain yanked him toward it. The game wasn't just playing, it was rewriting his world, piece by piece. Chapter 9. The Others Reach Out. Sam fought the chain, its pixelated links biting into his ankle as it dragged him toward the closet's glowing void. Mia clung to his arm, her feet sliding on the floor, now a patchwork of carpet and 8-bit dirt. The hum was a deafening pulse. The objects, key, lantern shards, map, compass, book, cloak, ring, mirror, coin, crown, spinning faster. Their light, searing the air. The shadow stood at the closet's edge, its blank face rippling, and his laptop glowed. One round, YN. Stop it, Sam yelled, but the game launched. Find the player's mark. The sprite moved, him, crowned and chained, stumbling to a carved symbol in a tree, a circle with a slash. Good. Claim it. Round 16 done. Pain flared. On his wrist, a mark burned into his skin, matching the symbol, glowing faintly. Mia pulled harder. Sam, fight it. But the shadow's voice cut through the hum. They all fought. The mirror flashed. His reflection wore the mark, the crown, the chain. But its eyes were static, its smile wide. His phone buzzed, cracked screen flickering. You're not the first. The room shuddered, walls dissolving into forest trees, the ceiling a pixelated sky. The closet void pulsed, and shadows emerged, not one, but dozens, tall, blocky, each with a blank face, each marked with that circle slash. No, Sam whispered, realization sinking in. They played too. The hum laughed and lost. The game reloaded. Find the end. The sprite staggered to a black pit in the forest floor. Round 17 complete. The closet void widened, the shadows reaching, hands cold, electric, pulling. Mia screamed, the cloak tightening around her, and Sam's chain yanked harder. His phone buzzed. Say goodbye. The mirror showed them falling, the pit swallowing his reflection, Mia fading behind. The objects crashed down, forming a circle around him, and the shadow, now with his face, stepped closer. I'm not done, Sam roared, but the void pulsed, and the game whispered back, you never will be. Chapter 10. The circle closes. Sam clawed at the chain around his ankle, its pixelated links glowing as it dragged him closer to the closet's pulsing void. Mia gripped his shoulders, her sneakers skidding on the floor, half carpet, half forest dirt now, the room a chaotic blend of reality and the game. The hum roared, a deafening tide, and the objects, key, lantern shards, map, compass, book, cloak, ring, mirror, coin, crown, formed a glowing ring around them, spinning faster. The shadows loomed, dozens of blank-faced figures, their circle slash marks flickering in sync with Sam's wrist. His laptop screen blazed. One round, YN. No more, Sam shouted, lunging for the laptop, but the chain yanked him back, slamming him to his knees, Mia grabbed the crown on his head, pulling. It wouldn't budge, its sharp edges cutting into her hands. The game launched anyway. Find the gate. The sprite, him, hunched and marked, staggered through the forest to a stone archway, its edges crackling with static. Good. Step through. Round 18 done. A rumble shook the room, and the closet void morphed. The wooden frame stretched, stone forming an archway identical to the game's, its center a swirling black pit. The shadow's hum sharpened into a chant. They stepped. Through. You will too. Sam's phone buzzed, cracked screen glowing. It's your turn. The mirror flashed. His reflection stood at the arch, staring back with static eyes, beckoning him. Mia tore at the cloak still binding her arms, ripping it free, and threw it at the shadows. It passed through, landing in the void, vanishing. "Sam, we can't fight this!" she yelled, voice trembling. The chain tightened, dragging him an inch closer, and the objects pulsed. The key rattled, the book's pages flipped wildly, the lantern's shards flared. His wrist burned, the mark glowing brighter, syncing with the shadow's rhythm. The game reloaded. Find the echo. The sprite moved, finding a glowing shard in the forest. Sam's voice screaming, trapped in it. Round 19 complete. The hum erupted into his own scream, echoing from the walls, the floor, the void. Mia covered her ears, shouting, "Make it stop!" But Sam couldn't. The shadow with his face stepped closer, its hand outstretched, cold fingers brushing his cheek. The room dissolved further. Trees sprouted from the carpet, the ceiling dripped static sky, and the archway pulsed, pulling at him. His phone buzzed. They screamed too. Sam grabbed Mia's hand, desperation surging. "I'm not going!" he roared, but the chain tightened, the shadows closed in, and the game's grip felt unbreakable. Chapter 11. The echoes fight back Sam's. Scream echoed through the room, or what was left of it, blending with the hum that shook the pixelated trees now piercing his carpet. The chain dragged him another inch toward the stone archway in the closet, its black void swirling, hungry. Mia clung to his arm, her face pale, the cloak's remnants tangled around her feet. The objects, key, lantern shards, map, compass, book, cloak scraps, ring, mirror, coin, crown, spun in a frantic orbit, their glow searing the air. The shadows pressed closer, their blank faces rippling, circle/marks pulsing in time with Sam's wrist. His laptop flared. One round. Shut up, Sam yelled, kicking at the chain. It held, cold and unyielding. Mia grabbed the mirror, smashing it against the floor. It shattered, but the shards floated up, reforming, showing Sam's reflection screaming back. The game launched. Find the light. The sprite stumbled through the forest, finding a glowing orb in a hollow tree. Good. Hold it. Round 20 done. A flash blinded them, and a warm orb appeared in Sam's hand, pixel-edged, pulsing with light. The hum snarled. They held it too. The shadows lunged, hands grasping, but the orb flared, pushing them back an inch. Mia's eyes lit up. Use it, Sam. He thrust it forward, the light cutting through the dark, and the shadows recoiled, hissing in glitchy static. The chain loosened, just a fraction, but the archway pulsed harder, the void deepening. His phone buzzed, screen cracked. They fought. They lost. The mirror reformed, showing not just Sam, but others. Figures in hoodies, crowns, chains, all marked, all falling into the pit. Who are you? Sam demanded, voice hoarse. The shadow with his face tilted its head, the hum answering, players, like you. The game reloaded. Find the heart. The sprite moved, digging up a beating, pixelated heart from the dirt. Round 21 complete. A thud, on his chest, a weight pressed, his own heartbeat stuttering, syncing with the game's. Mia grabbed the orb from him, waving it at the shadows. "Back off." It flared again, but weaker, the shadows pushing through. The room was forest now, trees everywhere, the ceiling gone, static sky crackling. The archway loomed, the chain tightening anew. Sam's wrist burned, his reflection in the mirror pounding its chest, screaming silently. The hum roared. "You're next." Mia threw the orb at the arch. It shattered, light fading, and the shadows surged, hands cold on his skin, pulling him closer to the void. Chapter 12. The void calls. His name Sam's knees hit the forest floor, his room gone, swallowed by the game's pixelated trees and static sky. The chain yanked him toward the stone archway, its void a black maw, pulsing with faint screams. Mia clung to his waist, her strength fading, the orb's light snuffed out. The objects, key, lantern shards, map, compass, book, cloak scraps, ring, mirror, coin, crown, swirled above, forming a glowing halo, their hum a relentless chant. The shadows towered, blank faces flickering, circle/marks blazing, and the shadow with Sam's face stepped forward, its static eyes locked on him. His laptop, somehow still there, glowed. "1 round? YN. I'm done," Sam roared, clawing at the dirt, but the chain held, his wrist mark searing. The game launched. "Find the name." The sprite staggered to a stone slab in the forest. Sam carved in blocky letters. "Good. Say it." Round 22 done. The hum demanded. "Say it." Sam's mouth opened against his will. "Sam." And the void pulsed, the shadows chanting his name in glitchy unison. Mia screamed, "Don't!" But the chain tightened, dragging him closer. The mirror floated up, showing him at the arch's edge, his reflection whispering, "Sam," over and over. His phone buzzed. They said it too. The shadow's hands gripped his arms, cold and electric, pulling with inhuman force. The crown dug deeper, his heartbeat stuttered, the mark burned, everything tying him to the game. The forest thickened, trees closing in, the static sky raining glitchy sparks. Mia grabbed the book, hurling it at the shadow with Sam's face. It passed through, pages scattering, each glowing with names. Alex, Jen, Mark, dozens, all marked, all lost. "They're the others," she yelled. The hum laughed. "And you?" The game reloaded. "Find the step." The sprite moved to the pit's edge, teetering. Round 23 complete. The archway flared and Sam's foot slid forward, the chain pulling, the shadows lifting him. His reflection stepped into the void, vanishing, and the hum roared, "Sam, Sam, Sam." Mia dug her heels in, but the ground cracked, pixelated dirt crumbling, and the void's pull grew, calling him home. Chapter 13. The Step into Darkness. Sam dangled at the edge of the stone archway, the chain around his ankle taut, pulling him into the void's black swirl. The forest floor, once his room, crumbled beneath him, pixelated dirt cascading into the pit. Mia clung to his waist, her grip slipping as the hum roared, a deafening chant of "Sam, Sam, Sam," echoing from the shadows. The objects, key, lantern shards, map, compass, book pages, cloak scraps, ring, mirror, coin, crown, spun above in a glowing vortex, their light pulsing with his name. The shadow with his face loomed closer, its static eyes glinting, hands cold on his shoulders. His laptop, somehow upright amidst the chaos, flared. "1 round? YN?" "No!" Sam screamed, kicking against the chain, but his voice cracked, swallowed by the hum. Mia yanked at his arm, her sneakers digging into the fracturing ground, but the void tugged harder. The game launched anyway. Find the finish. The sprite, him, crowned, chained, marked, teetered at the pit's edge in the forest, then stepped off, plummeting into darkness. Good. Join us. Round 24 done. The archway pulsed, a gust of cold air rushing out, smelling of static and dust. The shadows, dozens now, each with a blank, flickering face, closed in, their circle-slash marks glowing in unison with Sam's wrist. The hum sharpened into a voice, his voice, distorted. You finished it. His phone buzzed one last time, screen shattered. Welcome, Sam. The mirror floated before him, showing his reflection falling, arms flailing, then still, eyes black, smiling faintly. Mia sobbed. Sam, hold on. She grabbed the crown, pulling with all her strength, but it fused to his head, its sharp edges drawing tiny pixelated lines across his scalp. The chain yanked, and his foot slipped over the edge, dangling into the void, cold, endless, alive, with whispers. Alex, Jen, Mark, Sam. The book's pages swirled, names glowing, a list of the lost, and Sam realized he was next. The ground gave way, Mia sliding with him, and the shadows surged, hands gripping his arms, legs, neck, cold, electric, unyielding. The hum roared, "You're ours!" The laptop screen flared white. The objects crashed down, embedding in the dirt around the arch, and Sam felt himself lift, weightless, falling, pulled into the void. The last thing he saw was Mia's outstretched hand, the forest swallowing, her scream as the darkness took him. Chapter 14. The next player, Sam didn't feel the fall, not like he expected. One moment, the void swallowed him, the hum drowning everything. The next, he stood in silence, a vast, pixelated forest stretching around him, trees swaying, shadows flickering, a static sky overhead. The chain was gone, the crown lighter, but the mark on his wrist glowed, tethering him to this place. The air buzzed faintly, alive, and he wasn't alone. Dozens of shadows stood among the trees, blank faces turned toward him, their circle-slash-marks pulsing. The shadow with his face stepped forward, nodding once, its static smile widening. "Where am I?" Sam demanded, voice echoing into the dark. The hum answered, soft now. Inside. A screen flickered into existence, a floating window glowing, in the gloom, showing Mia in his room. She knelt on the forest floor, now just carpet again, sobbing, the archway gone, the closet normal. The objects lay scattered, dim, ordinary. Sam's laptop sat open, screen black, until text appeared. Game over. New round? Mia grabbed the laptop, slamming it shut, but it sprang open, the file still there, untitled, unmovable. Sam lunged, at the screen, hands passing through, and shouted, "Mia, get out!" She didn't hear. The shadows around him hummed. She can't. The screen shifted, showing his desktop, the forum post open. Try this. A new comment materialized. Sam played. Who's next? His stomach sank. No, he whispered, turning to the shadows. You can't do this. The one with his face tilted its head, and the hum rasped. We don't. They do. The screen flared, showing Mia's trembling hands hovering over the keyboard. She typed, desperate. Sam, where are you? The game launched on its own. One round, YN. The shadows leaned closer, watching her, and Sam realized he wasn't the end. He was the bait. The forest pulsed, screens multiplying, each showing a new room, a new face, a new download. Names flickered. Alex, Jen, Mark, Sam, and now others, strangers clicking the link. Sam's shadow self smiled wider, its hand resting on his shoulder, cold and final. "Mia, don't!" he yelled, but the void swallowed his voice. Her screen glowed. "Find the key." The hum swelled, the shadows chanted, and Sam felt himself fade, not gone, but part of it, watching as the game reset. A golden key gleamed. On Mia's desk, and somewhere in the dark, a new round began, waiting for its next player to finish what couldn't be stopped.